Hi crafting friends, this is Tracy at A Trace of Tradition, and I am here today to share my entry into the Pretty in Pink Challenge being hosted by the lovely and talented Alisha over at Love Letter Generation on Instagram and YouTube. So please go check out her channel or her Instagram account for more information on the challenge, and also to see all the entries that are being sent to her for the challenge. I was excited to attempt this challenge. It's my very first challenge. I've never done a swap before. I've never done a challenge before, but I loved the requirements that she asked to be sent in, and I particularly loved the theming, the pink theming, and I had a kit in mind, a paper kit in mind that I've been wanting to craft with, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity. This particular kit is called Shabby Carousel Dreams. I will speak more on the Shabby Art Boutique and Carrie Ann and her crafter membership at the end of the video if you are interested. So without further ado, I'll start showing my entry. The first requirement in the Pretty in Pink challenge was to do a library pocket and either library card or tag inside. So I have designed this little pocket. And I made some little library cards to go inside. I added some stickles for some sparkle and popped things up on foam to give it dimension. I've added some textile materials, feathers and cheesecloth, and some tulle is back there, as well as some lace. So that's my library pocket and the cards. The second requirement was to do 2 sets of embellishments. So my first set of embellishments I chose to do were rosettes. So you can see my little, I did blue vellum for the rosette, and then used that beautiful unicorn image from the collection, some tickets. I put this sparkly eyelash trim or eyelash ribbon on there to give it a lot of sparkle and just speak to the majesty and magic of the unicorn and the carousel rides. And my second rosette is also some blue vellum backed on a die from Scrap Diva Designs, and I popped up some of the ephemera from the kit. On the top I added little adhesive pearls on there. I used some on top of the rosette. I used some glitter tulle. So those are my 2 rosettes. Hopefully you can see those well. All right, for my second set of embellishments, I chose to do something I'm calling a slider embellishment. I used these backing oval frame pieces from Scrap Diva Designs. I think they're called Love Nesting dies. I'm not 100%, but I think so. And I also used her die. It's called a slider set, I believe is what it's called. And it allows you to add movement to cards and, all sorts of paper crafts. In this case, I used it for this embellishment. So I've used the hot air balloon paper in the background, and then this ephemera piece I've popped up on a slider and added a little tab here. The lace in the bow is actually a little tab that you can pull on so that the hot air balloon can float up into the air with the other hot air balloons. So I absolutely loved, I was fascinated with the movement that this allowed, and I just had so much fun playing with this die set. This was a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of detailed work, but I absolutely loved it, and I just think it's really fun that the hot air balloon can pop up into the sky. And the second set, or the second slider embellishment, because we had to do 2 sets of embellishment. So this is the second part of the set, number 2 of the 2. And this is also using the Love Nesting die, the little bit larger frame than the hot air balloon one was on. And You can just see I chose to do the carousel horse because it also has up and down movement like hot air balloons do. So I chose to use the carousel paper in the background. And again, this kit, it just really sparked my imagination. I love all the images that Carrie Ann English did in this kit, and they're just so fun. And I use that glitter paper for the frames just to add some sparkle. But you just do the slider set, and it allows the carousel horse, to move up and down as they generally do on a carousel. So I absolutely loved making this. So I'm excited to gift that to my crafty friend Alisha. Third requirement was to make a shaker, and I only have one shaker die. I've done shakers before just a couple of times. I think this is the only die set that I have for shakers, but I thought these were perfect because there are often swans on carousels, and I just think these are so beautiful. So you're required to do one shaker. Since they're a set, of course I did two. And I just think these are so beautiful. I added feathers, used glitter. This was my first time using foam to do a shaker. I've always popped it up on several layers of paper, so this was my first time to have a die to make a shaker, and was able to cut it out of foam. All right. Let's see, and since we're talking about shakers, the next requirement was to have a sequin, or rather a shaker mix or a confetti mix. So I just used the same sequin mix that I did for the swans, and then I added just some fun embellishments that I hope Alisha would enjoy for any shakers that she might want to make. So that's my sequin mix. I'm doing just like a couple of other little fun things. I've always wanted to, this is actually a KS Craft die that I used. I used it to create this little flag for the Shabby Carousel Gathering. And it's the first little flag I've made, and I thought that was fun. I used a paper straw that I got at the Dollar Tree and some pretty ribbons hanging down, some lace, and some little pom-pom trim on the edge. But that's just a bonus embellishment that I made just because my imagination was really having fun with this particular kit. And then I also made a little, this is another Scrap Diva design die. This is called the Paperclip Mini Album. And I made this because Alisha, the reason she asked for the library pocket and cards is she says she loves pockets and anything like that, and I thought just as a little extra bonus gift I would make her a little booklet that has some pockets in it. So I used this Scrap Diva Designs die to make this paperclip mini album, and got the balloon popped up on foam. There's the Shabby Carousel with all the ladies and gentlemen in their Regency attire, and it's just lovely. I rolled these flowers, and this flower is from Scrap Diva Designs. A die from that. Got the ticket booth here at the beginning. So you enter the fairgrounds. There are balloon rides, hot air balloon rides. There's all sorts of treats and food to enjoy. And this is a little pocket. Just like I said, Alisha said she loves pockets, so I just put a couple little tags in there. There's another one of the beautiful images from this kit. There's just, I don't know, for me, these are just beautiful. I love them, and they really do spark my imagination. I love this theming. I love the colors. I love everything about this kit. I love everything about all of her kits. Pop that cupcake and the little up on foam above or in front of the cupcake cart. And here are the ladies of the era on the fairgrounds. And then another little pocket. And in this pocket I have a couple of other tags from the kit. There's that one. And another beautiful image of a young lady on one of the carousel horses. And then I made these little envelopes to put in here. These are envelopes. She includes these with the ephemera and just little ride the Ferris wheel, tickets, hot air balloons. And those slip right inside the tiny envelope, which is so cute. Ferris wheel and carousel, hot air balloons, all the fun rides at the Shabby Carousel. Here's a little girl with her cotton candy. All the Regency era ladies in their attire. And then this little card says Big Top tickets here, admission 10 cents, children 5 cents. I wish prices were still that way. So that is the little mini album, and I tie that up to keep it closed. And then the last thing I made for Alisha, just a little something I wanted to make that I thought really went with the carousel theme. Again, the swans, which you often see on carousels, and these just some little ribbon trim samples that I adore. Little roses, this beautiful lace that came from my mom's supplies, and this little heart ribbon. All right. So I'm going to package this all up, and if you want to stick around to see what the final packaging looks like, then please do so. But I hope you enjoyed all the elements from my entry into the Pretty in Pink challenge hosted by Alisha at Love Letter Generation. Again, go check out her channel and her Instagram account. And thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you sign off here, I understand. So I hope you have a wonderful day and a blessed week ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. And here's my packaging for all the different required items. Stay tuned for packing up the box. Okay, so a final little wrap up. I just wanted to touch base on the products that I used in case anybody's interested. First up, as I mentioned, all of these little ephemera pieces and the digital papers that I used, those are all by Shabby Art Boutique. The artist and owner of Shabby Art Boutique is Carrie Ann English. I hope my projects can just in some way, shape, or form demonstrate the beauty of her designs and her art. She paints the designs and then puts them in digital form, and they're just beautiful. And she has a website that you can go visit. She gives freebies quite often, postcards to share with friends. There's a lot of Christmas projects, which is perfect for right now. She has a Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all the things. I found her on Pinterest, and the Craft Room Doors, which is her membership program, to sign up on the wait list. So go to the website if you're interested in this membership at all. Go to the website and sign up on the wait list, and she'll let you know when the Craft Room Doors are open. They only open a couple of times a year, and then which is, I believe, November and May. And then in February and August, traditionally, she opens up a little pop-up shop where you can buy past kits such as the Shabby Carousel Dreams that I used. Oh, and let me mention that to have access to that pop-up shop, you do have to be a member of the craft room. So there's just a small membership fee each month, but there's so many special things that come along with that membership: inspirational videos, tutorials, bonus projects, a wonderful design team, just a wonderful community. Also, freebies that she puts on there. There's so much I can't even put into words what a gift it has been to me. So I hope somebody watching this might be your sign to check out the craft room. So, but also you can sign up for her newsletter, and that gives you access to a lot of free items that you don't need to be a member of the craft room to have access to. So if nothing else, go sign up for the newsletter so you can be on the loop for her wonderful, beautiful freebies, and check out her Etsy and all of those things. In addition to the Shabby Art Boutique information, I wanted to share some of the dies that I used. Most of them were from Scrap Diva Designs, and the ones that I use, I'm not sure if that'll show up, I think it will. Shabby Chic Doily, Love Bundle Nesting Set, Swan Shaker Set, the Poinsettia Flower Set, Heart Circle Nesting Set, Bow Bag Topper Large, Slider Set, and Paperclip Mini Album were all used for my Happy Mail or Challenge Mail to Love Letter Generation. And also I used a couple of dies from KS Craft, which those were the Library Card Pocket Shaker and the Magic Park Flags. That Magic Park Flags is what I used to make the little pennant flag. And this is the Scrap Diva. This is her information. She's on Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest. You can look her up in those places. And that wraps up all my information for this video. So I really thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you have a blessed day and a wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.